I'm SD, and if you're new, I show guys like you how to tailor their own clothes at home. But before you dive into all this DIY tailoring stuff, we gotta pump the brakes a little bit because we gotta make sure you don't pick up any bad habits. And first things first, I think long intros are really, really annoying, so let's just start talking. Not washing your clothes before you dive into tailoring them. And it's not just about the clothes shrinking. That's the problem. That's part of the problem, yeah, but it's a little bit deeper than that. The real issue is your clothes are disgusting when you buy them. I worked retail for a long time, and let me tell you, I've seen some things. They've been around the block, they've been bought, returned, worn, all that kind of stuff. Just, ugh. I will never forget this one time somebody had returned a pair of shorts at this place that I worked at. And previously to that, one of the managers had said, hey, make sure you double check all the returns that come in, yada, yada, yada. We're all like, okay. And so this girl who clearly was not paying attention to those instructions, she ends up taking this return, and somebody had brought the pair of shorts over to a group of us that were standing around talking, and they showed them to us. These shorts, okay, so this guy returned these pair of shorts that he had worn all summer long. They had like crease marks in the thighs where he was wearing them a lot. They were all faded because he washed them all the time. He wore them all summer long and then returned them and got his money back. And disgustingness aside, obviously you want to make sure you wash your clothes, especially things like cotton or cotton poly blends, because they're going to shrink pretty significantly. I've talked in the past about making sure to write all your measurements down when you start diving into this so that you can skip the pinning stage later on down the road. But your measurements aren't going to be the same if you wash your garment versus not washing your garment. So if you tailor it and then you wash it, you might have had the right fit previously, but after you wash it, it's going to shrink a bit and just be just a little bit too tight. You're looking at the wrong spot, dude. Here's a really bad habit that's really easy to fall into that most people don't even really think about. It's staring at your needle as you're sewing. Oh, great. The garbage truck is here. The garbage guy just swore to himself. Clearly he found the big bag of cat litter that was in our garbage. Now it completely makes sense. There's a whole bunch of action going on as your needle is going up and down and it's making that stitch. So it makes sense to look right there. But you don't want to look right there because when you focus on your needle, what's gonna happen with your hands is you're gonna start making little micro adjustments with your hands that you're not necessarily gonna notice in the moment. They're very small and they're very subtle, but they're still happening. And so what ends up happening as time goes on is you might get some bulges in your tapers or even your straight stitches if you're hemming your jeans. And you might be thinking that you need to look at your needle in order to take your pins out in time because you are taking your pins out as you sew along, right? You're not sewing over them? Okay, good, that's what I thought. No, you don't even really want to do that. What you want to do is you want to kind of visualize that line that the pins are making. There's this kind of imaginary line that they're making, and you just kind of follow that and pull the pins out as you go along. Don't look at your needle, look at the lines that are on what's called your seam plate right there, because they're gonna make sure that, you know, it's two parallel lines, and if they're both parallel and straight like that, that means your stitch is gonna be straight. This is parallel, right? I always forget that. Pro tip for you, get a magnetic seam guide. They're awesome. Practice. We're talking about practice, right? Not a game, not a game. We're talking about practice. Take it from me, it's so easy to just jump into this full throttle. You're all excited and you want to get as much practice in as you can. So you practice on all of your clothes, but you're gonna end up running out of clothes before you can get a good amount of practice in, or at least before you can feel relatively confident in this. And what do you do then? I've got you covered. You, my friend, can just practice on a bed sheet. What you do is you cut that bed sheet up into strips and you end up getting about 960 strips total, or no, 960 stitches, because what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna put like 3 stitches in the middle and then 2 down the side. You can practice your straight stitch, you can practice your zigzag stitch, you can practice your tapering, you can practice hemming, everything. 960 opportunities to just mess all of this up, and it's not gonna matter because you're not ruining your current existing clothes. Seriously, that is a lot of practice. Let's go see exactly how that's done. It's in the next video. I will see you over there. SD out. Deuces.